So, a bit more live cave exploration. First, so if I can shelter the camera so I don't blind you too much. So let's explain where I am. So I just showed some footage of the big chamber, and now we're actually basically underneath it. So very carefully climb down through the boulders. So now actually underneath the boulder floor. Rather morbidly, cavers usually call this stuff hanging death, because as you can see, we're basically, after a game of Jenga has ended, we're actually underneath these irregular blocks that are just jammed together. But the interesting thing, I mean, other than just climbing through these boulders, is that there's a hole. And so this is bedrock. This is actually the side of the chamber, so it's quite safe, relatively speaking, being near this stuff. It's quite solid. And if we look down this gap, I'm afraid for you, let's see if I turn on the spot beam. Yeah, so there is a drop of probably about 10 meters to more jammed boulders in the floor, but you can also see some more of the side wall of the chamber, and it looks to be either an active or an abandoned stream passage. Just throw a rock down. You can hear it rattle for a second or two. And also, I'm going to breathe out for you to watch the draft. And hopefully you can see all that moisture, that it's coming flying back into my face. So it's not super strong, but there's a definite draft coming out of this, which is going backwards to the way that we've been following the draft so far. So most of the time we've been following the wind into the cave in this little region. But here there is some other part of the cave which is blowing towards us. So this is not free climbable, this is a proper drop. I certainly wouldn't attempt it. This rock is good, so we can put some bolts in here, then actually abseil down and see if perhaps the continuation to somewhere is down there. So yeah, very exciting little find. And a relatively safe, but also slightly disturbing sometimes place to be, underneath a boulder floor and a place which is very, very loose.